Hi, my name is Tara, and I wanted to talk to you today about some wrist recovery and strength building methods that I've found really helpful in my own practice with both yoga and kettlebell training. So the first thing I wanted to start off with was some of the strength building exercises that I really enjoy. The first one, you start off with a punching down into the earth. So what you do is you bring your fingertips into the base of the palm just by folding it over, never by curling the fingers into the palm itself. It's just folding it over, and then the thumb hugs into the hand, giving it extra support. Then you would start off in a tabletop position, so that's with your knees underneath the hips and your hands underneath your shoulders. In your hand, your arm actually has sort of two different energies running through it. Splits at the elbow. So the split from the center of the elbow down, you're punching in through the earth, imagining that it's not just onto the earth, but that you're trying to punch the earth away from you. And then from the center of the elbow back up, you're actually drawing into the shoulder girdle. So the shoulder blades are drawing gently in towards the spine and then down towards the tailbone. The lats are gently engaging to help support this structure. So coming back into the tabletop, moving that energy in the two different directions through the arm. And you can hold here, just building your strength and your core stability. Then if you wanted to, you could curl the toes under, start to shift back into your heels and create a rocking motion. And as you're doing this, you're still drawing those shoulder blades down and you're still punching your hands to punch the earth away from you. And just shift back and forth, rocking here. And then if you wanted to add even more on, you can take this shifting and then start to lift the knees up off the earth. Create a flow from here. And then again, there's more layers if you wanted to. Taking it from the knees, hovering, and then begin to shift the hips up and back as you come into a downward facing dog. In down dog, your gaze comes to your belly, the tops of your thighs. You're still securing those shoulders in, so they're not up around the ears, they're staying in joint. You're still punching the earth away from you here. And then again, you could create that pulsation of bending the knees, hovering just above the earth, and then shifting the hips back. Just rocking from here. This helps to build the strength through the wrist, through the forearms, and helps to teach you to keep the shoulders in socket. You come out, you just drop the knees, drop the feet, shift back into the heels, and shake it out. Another really great strength building technique is by pinching the earth. So you imagine your index and thumb, that's the foundation of the pinching. These are the two most active fingers, really drawing the fingers towards each other. And then the other three fingers come down to help support that. And once they come down, the center of the palm creates what's called a bandha, a lock. It's very secure. And this security through the palm is actually translating to greater security through the wrist and all the way up through the length of your arm. So again, you bring both. You start off with the index and thumb coming down. The rest of the three fingers come into the ground for support. Create that pinching. And you can go through that same vinyasa, that same sequence that we created with the fist punch. So you could hold here, just getting used to the palm lock here. And then you can also curl the toes under and shift, create the rocking, and then potentially rocking the knees off the ground, tuning into the shoulders, what's happening through the shoulder girdle. And then again, you can come into your downward facing dog from here. And then create that same pulsation down to the knees and back into down dog. Ultimately coming down, shifting back, and always shaking it out afterwards. After training with the kettlebells, especially with the heavier weights, through the forearm and up and around the elbow, it's a lot of tension that can build up. So recovery method after heavy training. Bringing the backs of the hands onto the ground. Fingertips face in towards each other so your palms are facing up towards the sky. And for some people this is pretty intense just right here. Just trying to straighten the length of the arm and again securing the shoulder blade by drawing it gently into the spine and then down towards the tailbone. This can be pretty intense. For other people who feel comfortable here, you can go ahead and start making a fist. Bringing those fingertips in and even get the thumb drawing in as well. And then releasing them back out to the ground. Creating a nice pulsation, working with your breath, moving nice and slow. And if you feel comfortable with that, you can go into the same sequence that we just created. Starting off in the tabletop, shifting back with those toes curled under. Potentially bringing the knees off the ground. Really tuning into the shoulder girdle. And then even coming up into a downward facing dog. This can be pretty intense. It's really important to have the shoulders drawn in and down. Your gaze shifts to the belly. And then you would slowly come out of it, drawing down, releasing back, and always shaking it out. Once you've gone through that positioning, it's important never to go back into a bent wrist in the very opposite direction. It can be pretty jarring for the nervous system, so being sure that you shake it out and come into one of the neutralizing positions of strength, which was the fist or the fingertip bandha. I prefer going into the fist variation to help release that, just shifting back and then drawing back down. So that's what I have to share with you today, and I hope you find that helpful. Thanks so much.